And if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver.
I know we were expecting some new developments this weekend, but some of them have failed quality control. Make sure you indicate what you'd like redeveloped via the workstation.
Are you serious? What the fuck? Hi there everyone, and welcome to part 5 of my McLaren career mode. Not the most ideal start then, as you can see. Another flipping upgrade has failed! Let's try not to dwell on that too much though, because as we look at the weather, it's going to be dry all weekend, so that is a saving grace for this weekend, I suppose. Once again though, it is yet another essential upgrade that would have been so useful for this track that has failed to go on the car. However, we did get an aerodynamic upgrade for this race, which is going to provide massive dividends, I should hope, and we also got the power upgrade that we should have got last episode, which I'm still not salty about. But no matter, both upgrades are on the car for this weekend. Here we are looking at the drivers and constructors standings, and, well, things are looking very good if I say so myself. Let's hopefully continue the good form that we're on. It's time for practice.
Welcome to the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya for the Spanish Grand Prix. Over the next few minutes, the teams will be heading out onto this classic Formula One track for what we're expecting to be a very hectic practice session.
Diving straight into practice then, and as you can see, we're... We do eventually manage to make it to the back straight and the beginning of the track acclimatization program. Through the first few corners then, first corner, very good indeed. Second corner, also very good. 2 purple scores straight off the bat. Can we do the same in the third corner, sweeping through the right-hander? And yes, we can indeed. Some saucy camera angles of the McLaren, which felt very hooked up to this track, which was absolutely lovely. And as you can see, we get a purple score at the end of that. Onto the tyre management program then, coming round the right-hander that completely shafted us in the first one, and by the end of the tyre management program though, as you can see, we are doing very well indeed. We get a purple score. Hell yes. Fuel management program, well, hell yes. ERS management program, well, hell yes. Qualifying pace then, as you can see, as we jump straight in, you can see we're actually doing very, very well in comparison to last time out. We're nearly half a second up as we come through the first sector split. And as we come on to the end of the lap, as you can see, that is going to be increased to about a second over the target time. And as we go across the line, it is yet another purple score, absolutely smashing it out of the park. Nothing really interesting happened in race strategy. As you can see, our estimated qualifying position just then was 7th, and we've completed all of the team goals, so things look in very good stead, and as we come to the results, we end up 5th, which is pretty respectable. How many voice breaks do I want to do this episode? Leave a comment down below. Things to take note of then. Stoffel Van Dorn has done very well. He's up in 8th place at the moment, but of course other people were on slower tyres, and that's about it, really. I don't know what you're expecting from that. I think the whole point is we're looking in very good shape for this track then. Coming into the resource points screen then, we're going to gather a bunch of resource points that we can spend on the car, perfecting practice programs like there's no tomorrow, completing R&D objectives, and that will give us a total of 535 resource points right there. Reputation-wise, as you can see, we're doing very well in all areas, excelling, and in terms of everything else, nothing really changes from there. So, out of practice then, we're looking pretty good. I think it's about time we look at qualifying now. So, with a snap of my fingers in 3, 2, 1. Oh my god, I'm basically a wizard. Subscribe for more. So as we time travel, that's great, Karl. Well done. As we time travel to qualifying then, I completely forgot about this, but I do have a bit of a dilemma. As you can see, my engine is quite worn, and in a straight line, that is going to make us suffer, probably, when it comes to our flying lap. However, I don't want to particularly change to my second engine before Monaco, so we are going to keep it in for one more race, and then hopefully all shall be good. Moving on from that, looking ahead to qualifying, well, I think things will be pretty good. We've shown in practice that we do have pace, as the practice program so predicted, and as our results showed in the end. I don't think it's too optimistic to say that we could get in the top 5, and I'm going to go for it. It's time for qualifying.
Here we are at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya for the start of today's qualifying session. It won't be long now until we're ready to join the action down at trackside.
Here we are then, hurtling down through the last corner towards the start-finish line like an excited tortoise with rockets on its back. The speed ever climbing, we will get to that first turn eventually. Hopefully we can even challenge like we did in China for the top 5. I'm hopefully not being too overly optimistic, but I reckon we can. 4th gear through those 2 corners and making sure we have a full throttle, nice wide approach into this 3rd corner. Cutting forward onto the lap then, DRS, we're weaving about on the track. Not sure what that's all about. There you go. Again, nice cinematic shot of the papaya orange McLaren. Coming around the last corner then, this car felt pretty hooked up on this lap. Not too bad at all. And we come P12. Ah, well then. Oh, we're through. Okay, never mind. Not only are we through, though, Stoffel is through as well. So both McLarens making it through nicely. We are actually slower than Van Dorn, though, which is annoying. But ho-hum, it's a positive. We'll take it. Can we get 2 McLarens into Q3 then? All will be revealed very soon as we hurtle through onto our first Q2 lap. Trying to get into Q3 on these soft tyres because I thought I had the pace for whatever reason. No idea what was going through my head, but there you go. We're in a McLaren. Let's be realistic here. We were a bit more committed into those first 2 corners, and then through the 3rd corner here, we do get a nice apex, but because of the harder tyre compound, we do drift out a little bit more than I would have wanted to, but it's not a problem. What is a problem, though, is the baguette muncher, Romain Grosjean, got in our way, and pretty much cost us a couple of attempts, I think. Maybe not, I don't know, but I reckon he did, because that explains why we got 11th. Behind our teammate again. Ignore the fact he has the super softs, okay, I'm aware. We've skipped on through the session then, and we're not too far off our teammate, but if we want to stay in that top 10 and really boost ourselves for the race, we're going to have to go out and do a 2nd lap. So that is what we'll do. Perfectly timed transition there. Brilliant cinematic shot once again. Not even going to say anything about the colour, because you already know what I'm going to say. On the super softs, let's see how we do. We are actually slower through the first turn, but then eventually we see the light of day, or eventually the timer does rather, and we are already a 10th up. And by the time we get to the end of the lap, we are, I think, almost a 2nd up. I can't see the preview very well, but I'm pretty sure that's almost a 2nd up. Committed to the chicane like no tomorrow through the last corner. How are we going to do? DRS wide open, and we go across the line, and it is P6. Not bad at all. We are through into Q3. More importantly, though, Stoffel Van Dorn has made it into Q3. The man has done it with defying all expectation and defying my own speech. He has done it. Anyway, back down to planet Earth then. We go into Q3 and hopefully we are going to aim for the top 5 spots. Is that too overambitious? I think not, so we're going to go for it. Dumbing down towards the first corner then, we have to be as absolutely committed as we can and absolutely on the ball as we can, but those first 2 corners weren't an example of that. That little power slide, though, was an example, and as you just heard there, I hardly lifted off, so we are giving it absolutely everything we can. Through the chicane, we go. Through the last corner, we go. Vettel sets the fastest time, but who cares about that? It's our turn, and we go P3. That's not bad at all. I think we're only a 10th off the fastest time, but of course, as we skip through, we go back down to 6th, which is not ideal. We do have the fastest middle sector, though. I don't know if you just saw there, but we do have the fastest middle sector. That is promising. So with that being said, we're going to go through to our 2nd Q3 lap then, our best chance to further improve our grid position, try and jump maybe Daniel Ricciardo and a couple of others. Raikkonen's got our slipstream actually behind us, which I'm not a fan of, as my voice decides to completely die on me, thanks. Regardless, we move through the 3rd corner then, flying through a 10th up on our current time, which is very good. As we come to the end of the lap, though, it's only a couple of attempts, so we didn't really improve much anywhere else. It wasn't the best lap I could have done, admittedly, but we take as much runoff as reasonable on the edge of the chicane with limits, and we're going to come across the line. Is it going to be a good time? I think that it looked like P3. I'll be completely wrong. P5, okay. P5. Do you know what? That is good. I will take that. And before all of you are like, oh my god, I have pilot vision, I could have seen that 5 from a mile away, bearing in mind my preview window is extremely small, so I can't actually see what number it is at the top left, but oh well. Hamilton gets pole, Verstappen takes 2nd, which I find quite interesting, so the Red Bulls seem to have some serious pace. If your name's Max Verstappen anyway, Daniel Ricciardo had other ideas. We actually beat Ricciardo and Raikkonen. We beat 2 front runners. That, for me, is a big win for this weekend already. Annoyingly, my teammate couldn't capitalise on his first Q3 appearance of the season. 1.5 seconds off the pace. P10. Not the best, really, but there you go. Really, I think that's all that needs to be said. We've done a good job. P5. Nice work. So we vault our way back into the paddock then, checking in on our rivalry status, still absolutely battering Stoffel Van Dorn, which is great stuff. I really shouldn't say that. That doesn't sound safe, does it? Doesn't matter. There are more important things in life to fret about than that. and one of them is money. And we look at how many resource points we have, collecting all of them where we can, and we get a session total of 170. We now have 785 resource points in the bank. We're basically rich. Not only are we rich, we're quite popular as well. McLaren like us a lot, and everyone else seems to as well, actually. That's quite nice. There just have to be a couple of people that don't like us, though. Mercedes and Red Bull, what do we have to do to impress you? We're in a McLaren, alright? Lower your expectations. That still feels so weird to say about McLaren, my god.
Well done. That was a good qualifying performance.
Cheers, Emma. Thanks for not elaborating either. I appreciate your work. We fade into the email box, though, and thank the heavens it is a dry race. I can breathe. Not gonna lie, I think that was a last-minute panic. I'm pretty sure it was forecast to be dry at the beginning of the weekend anyway. I just wanted to make sure so I didn't have a just utter catastrophe of a race. And speaking of race, that is exactly what we're gonna get into very soon. We're in 5th position. We're in a good starting place. We can only surely go up from there. Let's get a podium. Let's get it. The sun is shining. The trees are green. I'd be scared if they weren't. We are here for the Spanish Grand Prix. Let's not beat around the bush then. Let's just get straight into it, because hell yes, I'm excited for this race. We've qualified in an extremely good position. We could be up for some valuable points, maybe even a podium in this race. Who knows? Sky's the limit, really. But we're in F1. The world is ruthless. The world where consistency is key. We have a look at the starting grid then. There's us sitting pretty in 5th place and quickly going off the screen. Our teammate in 10th, among other things. But the most astonishing thing about this grid is that no one got a penalty. Absolutely obscene.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
Thank you very much, Jeff. But no! It's about time we smash it out of the park. My strategy is go as fast as physically, humanly possible this race. We've made it up to 1st in other news, albeit on the formation lap, and that's probably the highest we'll get up the grid all season. Here we are then, ready to take the world by storm. 5 red lights, and away we go. Good start for us. Bottas on the soft tyres, actually, so not too much to shout about, and not even a lot to shout about at all, because he's getting away from us, in fact. Ricciardo's pummeling alongside us. Raikkonen, he won't go for the gap. Well, that's annoying. Well, back to the pits we must go then. Let's overtake these guys first of all, and
Position back. We are under safety car conditions and cannot overtake.
now don't rub salt into my wound, you absolute fuck. Well, into the pits we come then for the most premature pit stop I could have planned ever, even though this wasn't planned, so whatever. We teleport down the pit lane towards our pit box, and the McLaren hospitality has been nothing short of impeccable. They immediately changed our tyres and our front wing, and it is back onto the circuit we go to catch up to the remaining pack, which as we skip on towards the end of lap 2 right about now, as you can see, we are back onto the remaining pack. Ricciardo had to make a pit stop because he recklessly hit us off. Vettel also did for whatever reason, so who knows, but we are with the pack, and that is what is important, even though we are falling back. In fact, something McLaren has been used to for quite a while now. You know what time it is? It's time to go racing. Let's wait. My god. What is this? Why is my engine so ridiculously worn out? Like, why?
Maybe it's because you haven't actually changed it in like 5 races.
Oh,
so
shut up, like, honestly. I've had enough trauma from the beginning of the race, and now I've got this to contend with, so we've got a bit, not much of a mountain, but more of a very steep Birmingham Dam to climb. That ridiculous analogy out of the way, regardless. Here we are, green flags through the chicane. We are racing again, hounding Ricciardo like a rampant slug. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think we're catching him. Oh my gosh, guys, we are catching up to Ricciardo. Shock. And here we go. We're coming into turn 4. He is stuck behind the Williams. This whole train is stuck behind the Williams of Lance Stroll. We're sliding about on cold tyres on an ice rink. But down the inside of Ricciardo and Vettel. Get out of the way. Absolute amateurs up into P17. And next up the road are the 3 that have been holding up this train. Sirotkin, Stroll, and Hartley's probably not the culprit, but Lance Stroll definitely is. So let's dispose of him nice and quickly. Round the outside we go. That's a bit rude from the Canadian pay driver. But round the outside we go, in towards the chicane, we squeeze him off the road. And some would say I've just taken him for a stroll. Am I right, ladies and gents? Next up is the Williams of Sergei Sirotkin. Might be on a softer compound, but his car is slow. So we're going to try and send one down the inside. He defends quite well, but then opens the gap again. Through we go. P14. Thank you very much, sir. Another driver. That means another position to gobble up like a hungry goose. It's Brendan Hartley. Down the straight we go and... Oh, for fudge McGee, we have caught up quickly to Brendan Hartley. I am a poet and I did not know it. Any confirmation we are quicker? We are literally pushing Brendan Hartley round the next corner, even though we have slid out of it, but we don't look at those details, alright? Annoyingly, he has defended actually quite well, though, so... I mean, it's not looking promising. I didn't know his name was Jarno Trulli. It turns out I couldn't get past him for the entire lap, even though he's getting away from me on the straight. I don't care. I don't care. I don't even care. I don't even care. The Brendan Hartley hot pursuit continues then. We're in a saucy cinematic camera view, trying to go for the overtake. Not happening at all. Can people stop messaging me while I'm recording? Never mind. We plow on. This is it. It's now or never. Brendan Hartley down the inside. That was about as controlled as I thought it was going to be. Nice. Next up is Esteban Ocon and... What's the risk? Oh, him and Ericsson appear to be having a bit of a ding-dong battle up ahead, which is a bit of a saucy phrase in F1 if I've ever heard it. But let's not think about that. We are thinking about overtaking them, and we are reeling them in at a rate of knots down towards the fourth turn, under the Pirelli bridge, down the inside of both of them, slight dip on the grass, and oh, yes! Again. We're actually never going to overtake anyone in a straight line this race. I've come to terms with it at this point. Pierre Gasly is next on the to-gobble list. That's not a very safe list, is it? To be honest, Pierre Gasly is blocking me off appropriately considering the comments I just made. I'm having very much the same trouble I had with his teammate, which is that I just cannot get past him because he's defending so well. As we come through the right-hander, though, I get very close and personal with his rear end. I'm saying a lot of questionable things, but suddenly, oh my gosh, we're going to do it. We're actually going to kind of overtake someone in a straight line. We have the power and the speed with the help of DRS, and we do get past Pierre Gasly, thank the literal Lord. Or Lords. There's no religious discrimination on this channel. No more than a few seconds later, trundling... I mean, if that arrow doesn't augment the struggles I've been having this race, then I just don't know what will. We've passed the future of Red Bull in Pierre Gasly, well, probably future, and now we pass the probably future of Ferrari, hopefully, which is Charles Leclerc. I'm sure he'll be the future of Ferrari. It's a question of whether we can actually pass him, to be honest. Shall we be ambitious? Yes, round the outside of the hairpin. What could possibly go wrong? Answer is not overtake him, and Hamilton is now all over the back of us. Fantastic work all around. Great job. The situation gets increasingly dire as we come down the straight onto lap 13, and we have DRS and hot lap DRS, and Hamilton is just waltzing past us, and that's not very fair. So we're going to brake a bit later, hang it round the outside, hold position. Yes, we do, and we keep third place, which still means we're provisionally first place. The dream is alive. A train of 4 cars then, Charles Leclerc heading it, me in second place in the McLaren, Hamilton, and then Raikkonen, I believe that is. Vettel is actually just behind all of this. Meanwhile, we're trying to get past Charles Leclerc, and again, we're going for the same move here, down towards the hairpin. We're going to be wiser about it and go to the inside, and we've done it again. Down the inside of the hairpin, we cut the curb a bit fine, but we have daylight between us and Lewis Hamilton. We have some daylight between us and Lewis Hamilton. Is that too much to say? Oh lord, he coming. Charles Leclerc has just absolutely blitzed it down the straight, and we are just a sitting duck in the corners. We're actually alright. Hamilton's overtaken Leclerc, guys. It's not a good day at the office anymore. But in positive news, the first place dream is still alive. The first place dream is well and truly dead. You can pat it on the head, kiss it goodnight, and set it alight. It's not happening anymore. Luckily though, the second place dream is still alive, and even though Raikkonen and his ever-changing coloured rims are hounding us from behind, and we go wider than a double-decker bus into that corner, we are coming into the pits on this lap and for fresh rubber, and that means hopefully with this little undercut on Kimi Raikkonen as he stays out, and we take a bollard of Barcelona with us. It should be, hopefully, a good job indeed. And we come down the pit lane, flashes on the screen. What is happening there? We've teleported immediately, but Mercedes have teleported faster. I call extreme hacks on all of this.
Are you actually serious? I just overtook this geezer. Why is he ahead of me still?
Let me tell you that it's definitely not going to happen on the straight, because off he goes into the distance. Yeah, it's been that kind of race. Something that did happen, though, was Gasly recklessly cut off Perez in through the first 2 corners, and because of that, we sweep clean past like a luscious broom, straight past it into P7, but we're still behind Pierre Gasly. I mean, come on now. We come down the main straight onto lap 19, then there is Max Verstappen. We are ahead. The second place dream is still alive. The second place dream has been drowned out of perspective. Oh my god, Raikkonen, no. The podium places just aren't going to happen today, everyone. I'm really sorry. I did my best, and I blame no one else other than myself. Except the car. I think it's fair that I blame the car for most of this. Bottas makes overtaking Gasly look so simple, which infuriates me. How the hell he does that, and then we get absolutely shafted by him. And you can see Raikkonen and Bottas is, it's just all falling apart for us this race. Our engine's dying on us, and Pierre Gasly's being an absolute pleb, and we can't even get past him. He's got a mega exit out of the chicane, I've got a feeble exit, and now Max Verstappen will probably just absolutely ruin us down the straight. I'm looking behind me now, and yeah, he's catching up. I've got DRS. I'm using overtake mode, but I don't think it's going to happen. He's not alongside enough, though. I think we can keep it. We stick to our guns down the inside, and we do keep P6 at the moment, provisionally P4. Welcome back. Whoa, Pierre Gasly, that was quite close, but we're going to try and overtake him in the same place we overtook him last time, down at the hairpin, brave on the brakes. Oh, he's locked up like an absolute fruitcake. We push him out because I was a bit annoyed with him, actually, but that meant I let Verstappen through as well. That was a stupid idea. I'm an absolute idiot for thinking that was a good thing. Ericsson's out of the race. It's all kicking off out of nowhere. Everyone, it's official. The P4 dream has died away from us, I think. No, not today, I say. Down the inside. That was a bit harsh, I will admit. Not my best move ever. But to be honest, they all count, so I don't even care. The P4 dream is still on, guys. On the next lap, we extinguish the charge of Max Verstappen round the outside, valiantly defending our P4. The dream lives. I swear this race is giving me so many Baku flashbacks. You cut to another straight and suddenly I'm being absolutely reeled in. Verstappen comes along again and no, we can't have this. Oh my giddy aunt, that was ridiculous. Lance Stroll for this next lap, you are my meat shield. You're not very meaty and you're more like a cast iron block, but please give me some slipstream. Max Verstappen's coming along again. We actually can kind of match him, so making a dive to the inside shouldn't be too big of a problem. It is not. We cleanly fight against his charge and we keep the dream alive. And it will continue to stay that way for a matter of more seconds. We can take a breather and a posh break, as the virtual safety car has been deployed and I am somehow still over the delta. Why are we not complying with the delta? Jesus Christ. Turns out the virtual safety car didn't last very long either. Only a couple of corners and the back straight to avoid me being ridiculously overtaken. But we keep P4, DRS re-enabled, returning to racing speed. We have 7 laps to try and keep this P4 position and a big haul of points in our favour.
0.2 seconds.
Everyone, I'm delighted to announce that I have literally failed on the first lap of asking. The dream has died.
Even more perspective of my straight line speed struggles is when I'm coming out this last corner. I've actually stayed quite close to Verstappen on this lap. He goes and sets the fastest lap of the race, but due to my straight line speed, I can hardly keep up. Ricciardo's trying to ruin our P5 dream now, which I'd be happy with if we got P5 after the start I had, but we say no to him, slam that door on his face, round the outside of turn 1. Very, very nice. Sure as hell didn't last long though, because we're on the straight again. Ricciardo's got DRS. That means I'm going to get minced like a mincer. Round the outside he goes. I have the inside all to myself. I'm going to keep the car in there. Round the outside, hold it. I've given him too much room, but we keep the position. So that is still the P5 dream alive. So many dreams that are living and will probably die. I'll be honest, I don't know what you're all expecting. The goal now was to try and see if the Red Bulls would slip up, but thanks to our ridiculously poor engine performance, nothing happened for the next 3 laps, and I threw in the towel. Instead of them waving red flags, we were frantically waving white flags about. We're practically guaranteed P6, Vettel's too far behind to mount any kind of a challenge, and Ricciardo's way too far ahead so I can make any kind of a challenge, so it's just a bit of a stalemate really. Lewis Hamilton wins the Grand Prix, he's feeling a bit blessed today, he gets the fastest lap point. Oh wait, it's not 2019 rules. But looking at our race, we've had an engine issue for most of it, we came basically from the back of the grid after a first lap incident. It's been a recovery job and we've got P6. I'll take that.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
That's it for another Grand Prix and a fantastic win for Mercedes. So as I say that, we can see the drivers coming out now to collect their trophies. It's yet more silverware to take back to their base in Brackley after another excellent Grand Prix.
Lewis Hamilton wins yet another race. Who cares? Looking at the scoreboard though, which is much more interesting I'd say, as you can see, yeah, not the best race from us. But can you blame me, realistically? I mean, can you blame me? More positive news though, Stoffel Van Dorn actually bettered his grid position, he finished in 9th, so that's more valuable points for the team. Anything more on the positives list? Well, it looks like that's the end of the positives list, fellas, let's go back to the paddock. I can't help but feel like I've made a catastrophic error.
Things look close between you and your rival for a bit. Your team must be ecstatic with how you're performing. Do you think you were lucky not to end your race with that crash?
I have a question for you, Emma. Do you think I want to answer that question? What I love about this, more than anything else, are the responses I'm able to give, which are the worst possible for the crash I had. First of all, relating to downforce. No. Secondly, saying the car can't take too many scrapes. I'll have you know, if you clearly you weren't watching, Emma, I'll have you know there was a big explosion when I hit the wall. So that's another no. Last of all, I think there was a suspension issue. The only issues I had all race were engine issues, and more importantly at the beginning, pleb issues. So you're wrong. Stop asking me stupid questions. Well, it's nice to know that she took my responses somewhat well. Here we are then, back in the McLaren motorhome, and now I'm no mathematician, but I don't think that's close. Resource points wise, we now have enough to buy a small house. Team reputation wise, what do? We grow a lot everywhere. Oh.
Joke's on you, Ferrari, I beat Vettel. Get stuffed.
So much respect! Great! We are finally going to choose a rival. We are going to take a tortilla of tension and choose Sergio Perez as our rival. Upgrades wise, we have a lot of resource points to spend, so I think first and foremost we're going to repurchase the chassis upgrade that we should have got and probably would have helped us in this race, but whatever, I'm not salty. Then we go to durability and I decide, you know what, I actually kind of need durability on my engine because that was cataclysmic, so we do that. And finally, the aerodynamics department. Looked around that for a bit and decided that we should go for a downforce upgrade on the front wing flap. And that's really all there is left to do, apart from look at the standings and dwell on a race that could have been, should have been, but wasn't meant to be, which is just great. Now this is the bit where I have some explaining to do, why I haven't uploaded in however many months it's been. Is it 5 months? Yep, it's 5 months. Incredible. Alright, so basically I'm in that lovely year where I'm having to study A-levels and revise for them quite a bloody lot, so I've just been in and out of revision and this has kind of taken the back seat. I really didn't want it to. I actually wanted to upload consistently, believe it or not, but that's how it's fallen, unfortunately, and there wasn't a lot I could have done about it, realistically. So, sorry. Quite a lot has happened in the time I haven't uploaded. The 2019 F1 season has started, for example, and they've announced the F1 2019 game, which comes out in June, when my A-levels finish. So that means, therefore, a most definite possibility of an F1 2019 career mode coming out on this channel, which will be an absolute joy to record, because I love recording these episodes, and I will therefore love recording the 2019 ones as well. All that remains for me to say then is thank you ever so much for watching this episode. If you did enjoy the video, hit the like button, and if you're not already subscribed, what are you doing? Subscribe to this channel, please. I need subscribers quite badly. I'm kidding, you don't have to. Just if you want to stay posted with what I do, subscribe to the channel. And hit the notification bell, please. I really hope I can get episode 6 out soon. I'd love to. My Twitter and Insta are KarlsCars. Thank you all. See you next time. Hello all, it's Karl here, bringing you a quick update from the month of June 2019. You can tell from my first outro that I did that some of the things I said were a tad outdated, talking March and April outdated. However, my inconsistency aside, I have good news. News to warm the ears and hearts of humans, dogs, all pets around the world, everywhere. I have finished my A-levels, I know. Thank you so much. Thank you. It was hell, you don't want to go through it. The A-levels are absolute hell. Don't put yourself through that torture and pain. My throat's a bit sore, so sorry if I do sound a bit coarse. Not that any of you care. You just want to know when the bloody videos are coming out. Even then, I don't think you care. Why am I doing this outro? Thanks for watching. Goodbye. I still have 2 music instrument-related exams to do. The actual A-level subjects themselves are done. However, I've got music instrument grade stuffs still to do. I've got 2 of them, and the last one of which is on the 26th of June. It's currently the 18th of June when I record this at midnight. Sorry, Mum. But after my last music instrument exam, F1 2018, oh my god, this is how tired I am. Don't record at midnight. That's what I've learned today. It's a good lesson to learn. F1 2019 literally comes out 2 days after my last music instrument grade exam thing basically finishes. So that's going to make getting episode 6 out and onto my channel a very big task indeed. However, if you want it, I will do my absolute best. I can't promise anything, but I promise you I will do my best, all things considered. But if that doesn't happen, here is a promise I will make. There will be an F1 2019 career mode on this channel. I don't know if it's going to be a different team or the same team. Probably the same team, because I've hardly done the whole McLaren journey, road to podium, glory, championships stuff. But we shall see. It might well be a different team. I genuinely have no idea yet. However, it doesn't matter about that. What does matter is that I will keep you all updated on my social medias on Twitter and Instagram. Speaking of which, if you don't follow me on Twitter and Instagram, what are you doing? Follow me there, at KarlsCars. Please, I need followers, and you'll get constant updates. Pretty much daily updates about when I'll upload, if I'm not going to upload. You know the drill. But basically, follow me there, and you'll get all the updates you need. I think that's pretty much all there is to say, other than subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I hope you love the amazing quality drawings on your screens. If this is the last episode of F1 2018 Career Mode, all I have to say is thank you ever so much for watching, and I hope that it brought a smile to your face, that it brought joy to you on a rainy day, and I hope I can do the same on F1 2019 as well. Until then, follow my Twitter and Insta, at KarlsCars, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all next time. Cue the outro!